Well, hello everyone. I felt like it was time for another little chat. You know, I often talk about energy work, but there's an area that I don't talk about a lot that is really, really important in maintaining your energetic vibration and protecting it, okay? We're going to talk about 3 areas today that are really, really important. And, you know, they almost seem fundamental. And so because of that, you know, they tend to be overlooked a lot of times whenever we talk about working on our energy. And I've been guilty of that. So I'm kind of going back to fundamentals, okay? Grounding, centering, and shielding. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. I know you've probably heard of grounding. You know, some people call it earthing, okay? There's actually a lot of science behind that. In this description box, I've got 3 articles that are linked, okay, that I feel like are from reputable sources. The first one is about grounding, and it explains the science behind grounding, and it is from the National Institutes of Health. Who, if you don't know this, and I know this because my mother worked at a local university in the College of Medicine for many, many years, that is who funds pretty much all of the scientific medical science research in the United States, okay? So they are the premier authority when it comes to these types of studies, okay? So, all right, what happens? Okay, you've heard of walking barefoot on the earth, right? On dirt or grass or sand or what have you, or maybe, you know, wading in a body of like natural water, like a lake or the ocean or something like that. Some people say swim in it, whatever, but okay, here's what's happening. And, you know, I'm not a scientist, but the article speaks for itself, okay? Electrons come out of the earth and go into and onto your body, okay? Here's the, you know, not only are there energetic benefits, but there are health benefits, okay? Studies show that it helps your sleep patterns, your circadian rhythms, your immune system. Wounds heal faster. It helps with PTSD, anxiety, depression. And it has the same effect on the body as antioxidants. Boom, okay? So it's an incredible way to stabilize yourself, okay? And for me, I'm, you know, not trying to be hokey, but I get a similar effect for going out into nature, okay? Touch a tree. And I know it's cold right now. Maybe your ground is a little bit too cold to do the earthing thing, okay? But just go out and put your hands on a tree bark and hang out there for a little bit. I promise you. And just, you know, still your mind for a little bit, and you will, I promise you, you will feel better, right? Okay. So that's, you know, about grounding. But grounding literally stabilizes your energy. It plugs you in and it kind of gives you a good foundation. Picture building a house. It's the solid foundation that the house is built on or not, right? Without grounding regularly, you know, our energy is kind of on shifting sand in a house of cards, right? Okay. So centering, there is an article linked below about that from Psychology Today, right? And it's actually written from the standpoint of a lady who is empathic, right? And we've all heard about empaths, right? Centering, and these 3 tools are critical if you're an empath, okay? They're going to make you a badass, powerful empath if you learn these things, okay? Without them, being an empath is crippling. It's up to you, okay? So, okay. Centering brings you to a calm state. It really is about being mindful and being in the moment and settling your energy. And it's done many ways. This article will give you a place to start. Look, Google is your best friend on these topics. You can find a lot of ways to ground and a lot of ways to center and a lot of ways to shield. This video that I'm doing right now is to get you started and kind of explain to you about it, and to validate by science. I mean, my own experience, I know these things work, but I went today and did some research on these things so that I could back up what I was saying with science, okay? So, okay. But, you know, centering, it can be done through, and I talk about meditation a lot, okay? Yoga, exercise. And okay, you don't have to be a jock, okay? And self-care. And you know the ways of self-care, right? It's getting that pedicure. It's maybe zoning out into, you know, some nice book for a while, right? Or what have you, or Criminal Minds, or, you know, Netflix or whatever. You know, that spiritual bath, you know, diffusing essential oil, you know, I mean, just taking a nice spiritual bath and then pampering yourself afterwards. Look, I've got my bestie goes out, he target practices. That's self-care for him. Why? It clears his mind. It centers him, right? It brings his energy in, right? I wish I could explain how it feels. I'm trying to put it into words. It's kind of difficult, but it is critical to do those things. And look, let's talk about exercise for a minute, okay? Look, I am not, you know, a triathlete, okay? But I have started an exercise routine. Why? Just to make me feel better. I mean, and give me more energy, and it's working. I know a lot of you watch Rich Lot, and he has a personal trainer that he is promoting who has started a YouTube channel. The thing I love about this personal trainer is he's highly spiritual. He focuses on this from a spiritual aspect, and he is all about meeting you where you are. Now, you know, of course, he's very, very fit. I mean, make no mistake. I mean, the guy could probably do squats for the next 18 hours and, you know, not even, you know, try to take a breath between. But that's beside the point. You know, I'm definitely not, you know, having a desk job, and, you know, I'm not, you know, 20, okay? We all know this, right? But this is, you know, the thing I like about his channel is that he's gearing it for different levels. Different videos are for different levels. I've linked his channel below as well. Okay, his name is Andrew, and his channel is oh God, I can't remember. I am so sorry. But I have linked it in the description box below, and Rich has linked it and promoted him as well. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about shielding. Shielding, I have a third article in there from Psychology Today about shielding, okay? And the validity, how it works, how to do it, and that sort of thing. It can be done, it needs to be done in a number of different ways. There are certain things that are essential to your energetic vibrational health, okay? Shielding is very important to that, okay? Visualization, and this article is going to go into detail on that, but it's literally visualizing a shield around you. And I know that sounds hokey. I thought so too until I did it, and it worked, okay? So trust me, I've proven this like now every day for years, okay? But the first time I did it, okay, yeah, it felt awkward, right? But you know what? If you want different results, you got to try something different, okay? So give it a chance, right? You can't hurt anything, right? Give it the old college try, and more than once, because it takes a couple of times, you know, before you start to really understand it, and then a little more, and then you start to get comfortable and say, hey, this stuff works, you know. Other things that you need to do as a part of shielding. Proper boundaries, and I talk about that a lot in my playlist, okay? I mean in my readings, God, I talk about proper boundaries, okay? You know, and it's in the Psychology Today article, it talked about physical boundaries too, which I found really interesting, and I want to explore that. I'll be honest with you, it's a neat area for me, and I'm going to explore it more. But it talked about like the use of plants like in your office and things of that nature. Again, I want to go into this a little bit more, okay? But certainly boundaries, okay, with other people, right? The ability to say no. And there's nothing wrong with saying no, okay? You can't pour from an empty cup kind of thing. Balance your alone time. You must spend time alone, particularly if you are an empath. You've got to recharge those batteries. You know what I'm talking about, right? Limit your time with toxic people as much as possible. Point blank, period. And don't feel guilty about doing it. You must do it, particularly if you are empathic, okay? Clear energy. How can you do that? There's a number of ways, okay? A lot of people smudge with sage. Some people burn incense, sage, lavender. Some people diffuse lavender and sage essential oils, okay? That sort of thing. You know, look, I mean, I've got a singing bowl here, and I love this thing, okay? And I mean, I hadn't really planned on doing this for the video, but okay, that's what I love about my videos is I don't have to plan. I mean, check this out, y'all. If you don't think this clears energy, listen. And there's ways to make this sing, and you know, there's a trick to this. It takes a couple of minutes, but it will start to sing. You hear that? Okay, just an example. You don't have to do that, okay? You can smudge, you know, you can, you know, diffuse essential oils, burn incense, burn candles, okay? With the intent of clearing your energy. You know, some people use black tourmaline to, you know, shield against negativity. That's certainly a good crystal to have. Amethyst is a very powerful one. Red jasper is one. Butterfly jasper. Butterfly jasper is a little bit hard to find, but certainly very helpful. Okay, rose quartz, because it, you know, it promotes healing. That's another good crystal to have around. Okay, so just some tips. Okay, from me. All right. Sensory overload. Let's talk about that. You know, I talked about grounding and the effects that the electrons from the earth have on our bodies. Guess what cell phones and laptops do? The opposite. Whoa. I knew they were bad, but I did not know that until today when I read this article. Y'all, oh my God. You know, I know it's hard sometimes to limit your screen time, but you know what? I think it's essential to our vibrational health, our mental health, and our physical health. I mean, all of those, it really is bad. No wonder you hear so much about limiting your time on the phone, limiting your time in front of the computer and the TV. You know, electronics, I mean, they're not all that. And I know they're a part of our lives. I get it. But, you know, at least try to find a balance where you turn the thing off and go outside, take off your shoes or not, put your hand on a tree, take a walk in nature, and undo some of that, you know, negative effects of sensory overload. Overloading your, you know, here's another way you can shield. Okay, I know to a certain degree it's important to keep up with that's exactly right. You know what, I said it right, with the news. But there again, if you're feeding fears and you're walking in fear, okay, you need to shield yourself from that negative crap. Okay, find out what you need to know and do. You know what I do? I don't subscribe to the news and I don't watch the news. If I'm curious about something going on, I will Google that one particular subject, look at the most recent news article and hit the highlights, and I'm good. And then I move on, because I don't want to hear all that crap. You know, all the stuff going on, and I don't care where you land. You may be on the mask thing or off the mask thing. It really doesn't matter. The controversy is there, you know, whatever. But, you know, whether or not you think COVID is a thing, and I personally do, but I refuse to walk in fear, okay? Am I going to be careful? Yes. But I'm not going to stop living my life, and I'm not going to walk in fear, and I'm not going to think about it, okay? It's just like I'm not going to fear for my safety. You know, I'm going to use common sense and not walk at 2 o'clock in the morning in the hood, okay? I'm not going to tempt fate either way, whether we're talking about COVID or, you know, being abducted, okay? But I'm not going to be afraid. You know, it's what, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night where I am right now. And if I need to walk to my driveway, to my car to get something out of my car, I'm going to go out there, okay? I'm not going to live in fear. Screw it. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to not live my life, right? I would rather live fully for the next 24 hours than live in fear and just exist for the next 20 years. That one's deep. Okay. So I know I harked about the news a lot, but you can feed, you know, and look, Facebook news feeds and Instagram, whatever. You can feed on the negative, but you know what? I did something. My people that are on my friends list on those things, first of all, some of them I just unfriended, and the ones that I just couldn't, okay, I just stopped following. I don't want that crap on my feed. Okay, I know everybody has a bad day, but if they're constantly bitching and moaning about how horrible their life is, you know what? I'm sorry. I send them love and I send them peace and healing, and I certainly want them to eat, but they don't belong at my table. Why? Because we are not energetically aligned. Flat out. Point blank, period. Cut, right? Boundaries, right? So there you go. They say this, you know, talking about shielding and cutting time with toxicity and toxic people, that you literally, this is in that article that I linked below, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's pretty scary, isn't it? Okay, you know, 2 of them, for me, would be my daughter and my dad. You know, that's kind of okay. I've got a bestie. He's real high vibe, so that's cool. you know, and, you know, one or two other people. But you know what? I spend an awful lot of time with coworkers, and I really don't want to take in their vibration. Just going to be honest with you. So that was a wake-up call for me. So I hope the information that I've shared with you is helpful for you too. And maybe you'll learn some things reading those articles. They're short reads, easy peasy. It won't take a lot of your time, but I think it'll really help you out in your path. Okay? And that's what we're here for. If you have tips, share them below for me and other viewers of this video, because it's all about learning together. Okay? Everything that I share is things that I learn. Okay? It's things that I know from walking the path. I am not an expert, certainly, but I am an expert on what I've experienced. And I have experienced that grounding, centering, and shielding really, really works. And today, thank you, because you guys gave me the inspiration to dig it a little deeper, and I learned some more things today. So thanks for that too. And if you haven't already done so, I hope you'll subscribe. I do personal readings now and again, and I've put that information in the description box below. And if you want to hit me up for some guidance or info, feel free to do so, right? I love you guys and wish you the brightest of blessings, and I will talk to you again soon.